I'm Sonia, and I help people take their power back. If you are interested in working with me, all my information is in the description below. I am live to answer your guys' questions. So let me know what you guys want to talk about. Tonight, Jax is very mad at me. He was not happy when I set up for this live. I went live on TikTok the past 2 nights, just out of the blue, and he's like, again? 3 nights in a row, Mom? What are you doing? What are you doing? I know, I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, I promise, tomorrow night I won't go live, okay? What do you guys want to talk about? I did not come prepared with a topic, as per usual, so let me know if you have any questions. Hi, Jasmine. How are you doing? What do you guys want to talk about tonight? What? I know, buddy. You're mad at me. It's okay. I'm good. How are you? I am amazing. I am amazing, but my dog is mad at me. I went live Sunday night and last night, just like out of the blue on TikTok, and now I'm live again, and he's like, excuse you, you usually spend time with me now, and now you're gonna talk at that phone again. Like, don't do that. Huh. Yeah. Any advice for a potential third party? Don't give them attention, especially if they're potential. Like, the more that you focus on, oh, there's a third party and they're not gonna pick me. You're right. It's driving me insane to think of my SP with someone else. Then why are you thinking of your SP with someone else? Don't do that. Don't do that. Think of you two being together. You're together. You're so happy. That means there's no 3P. You're going to need to work on your self-concept. I am enough. I am wanted. I am chosen. I'm the priority. Look at why you feel like this person would pick somebody else over you. Because this is your reality. And you're currently deciding to drive yourself crazy by thinking about yourself, by thinking about him with somebody else or her with somebody else. You know, this relationship, your person is going to pick somebody else over you. So you need to stop thinking about this other person because they're not here. This is your reality. You get what you want, and you need to look at where that is coming from, and you need to address it. Notified, yes, awesome. But he said he didn't want to date me anymore and that he's seeing someone else. That's where you ignore the 3D. You ignore the 3D and you go back in here and you tell yourself how things are, and You tell yourself that somehow, some way, this is the bridge of incidents that's getting you what you want. But you're still going to need to look at your self-concept of I'm not enough, I'm not wanted, I'm not chosen, which all comes kind of back to I'm not enough. Why is it hard for you to tell yourself that you're together? And I know it's hard because the 3D is showing you the opposite, but you are creating this situation. The way that you view yourself, relationships, him, is being reflected back to you. So you need to address what kind of thought processes you are having that the person you want to be with would choose somebody else. So is self-concept work just standing in the mirror and saying affirmations? Um, I mean, you can do them in the mirror, but it's telling yourself, I am enough. I am enough. I am wanted. I am chosen. I am his top priority. He wants me and only me because I am the most amazing person on this planet. Hi, Allison. Just wanted to jump on and say thank you for your channel and your excellent advice. Found you recently and love you. Your down to earth and no nonsense approach. Oh, thank you. I enjoy making content. And I enjoy going live too, but my dog's not happy about me going live. So he's reluctantly, angrily, he's kind of calmed down, but he was not happy when I was setting up this live. He was like, again, Mom, really? Calm down. But Jasmine, manifestation is all about changing you. Because everything you are experiencing right now is a manifestation. So you have to change you in order for the outside to change. And as far as what he said, you could revise it. That never happened. He told me he wants to be with me and only me. That never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. But if you do not have the self-concept, the belief in yourself, the beliefs about yourself that you would be chosen by the person you want to be with, then that is going to hinder your manifestation. Now, the people who take and use like we're so happy together as their one affirmation, whenever thoughts of, well, maybe he would choose someone else. No, we're in a happy relationship, so obviously he's choosing me and only me. That's how people do that. But you can't allow yourself to think things like he would pick somebody else or I'm not wanted or enough. That shit has to go. Anybody else have anything they want to talk about? I don't have topics when I go live. I just come out and hang out with you guys. So let me know what you want to talk about. Nobody has anything to talk about? Hi, Zelda. Hi, everyone. I had a little manifestation happen almost instantly. I'll look at you. I told my aunt I wanted a snack from the store, and in my head, I told myself I'll have 3 bags, and she bought me a large, which is 3 bags. Look at you go. Look at you go. I'm so proud of you. So basically, just live in my imagination regardless of how he's showing up. Yes. Your imagination is the true reality. Your present moment is a manifestation of old shit you were thinking. Change what you focus on and get rid of all of the shit that is telling you that you can't have what you want or that it's not true. You don't go do things and try to make it happen. You change up here and let the rest change. Just by telling yourself that he never told you that he doesn't want to be with you and he wants to be with someone else could change this entire situation. But if you don't change the thoughts that got you into this situation, which is why you need to look at where this shit came from, you're going to just repeat the cycle over and over again. If you have a deep rooted belief of I'm not chosen because of past shit that happened, you don't have to go figuring out why it happened. But if that is something that you continuously tell yourself, even if you manifest him back, he's probably going to leave again because that thought is still in your head. I'm also an old SP contacted me and he's showing up so different than when I cut him off a year ago. Currently still trying to revise with my other SP. I know I can. You're doing it. You're doing amazing. You're getting fucking birds. When old SPs start showing up, you're getting birds, especially if they're showing up differently. That's a big giant bird. So just keep doing what you're doing. But that's awesome. Any tips for when you keep feeling anxious despite affirming and doing distractions activities? That is where there are a lot of different ways to work with anxiety from start researching nervous system regulation. So breath work, EFT, which is tapping, different forms of energy work, working with your vagus nerve, doing things physically to calm your body down. Because you have to remember that, yes, we can manifest anything with our mind and you can just affirm through it. But if you're like, I can't just affirm through it and you want to, do something more than that, you have to remember that your imagination is your true reality, but your body is in the 3D. So affirming it will catch up. Um, but there are a lot of different things that you can find on releasing stuff from your body because your body holds trauma. It's not just in here. And if you're getting caught up on things, you may need to release some of it from your body and being open to finding what's right for you. You'll find things that'll help you with your anxiety. But I would also start affirming um I'm like something, whatever, depending on what your thoughts are, but start telling yourself, I'm never anxious. I'm always calm. If your anxiety is coming from worry, I never worry. Stuff like that. All I've been doing is focusing on self concept, telling myself I'm beautiful and have my desired appearance, and thinking about cute little scenarios with SP. There you go. That's all you got to do. I love that. Today I cried everything out and felt so good afterward. My manifestation happened like an hour later. You let go of all the resistance. A lot of times that will happen, and it's not, don't put that crying is what's going to get your manifestation, but it's when you get to that point sometimes and you just like, I'm at my wit's end, I'm fucking done, and you just let yourself, this is when people are like, I let it go and it manifested. You stopped resisting it and allowed things to shift, and it did. That's awesome. Look at all these fast manifestations. I love that. Yeah, my law of attraction coach taught us that it's your feelings that manifest. But if you cry or are angry, that won't manifest. But being happy and trying to make yourself happy and pretend you're happy will. So what ended up happening, and this was part of the coaching as well, was you need to feel your feelings. Whenever anything was happening, it's like, oh, well, you must have feelings to feel, so go feel them. I was on an emotional roller coaster, so yes, feel your feelings. Yes, allow yourself to be human, but do not put together that you get your manifestations because you lost your shit. Because trust me, it'll become a cycle where your entire life has to fall apart in order for you to manifest. And it's not fun, and it doesn't need to be that way. To control the 3D is so stressful. Yeah, I agree. It is. It is, but at the same time, when you are first doing this stuff, for me at least, it was kind of anxiety inducing to be like, I'm just going to think about things differently and like allow things to happen, because I was such a control freak and I needed like everything to be planned out 20,000 steps ahead to kind of try to pretend I felt safe and secure in myself. So letting that go took some time. But now trying to control the 3D, oh, I don't want to. I would hate when coaches say it gets worse before it gets better. Yeah, that was exactly what it was. My coach had me believing that my entire life had to fall apart in order for things to get better. And it's like, now knowing what I know, it's like that is horrible. That is horrible. That is a horrible belief. And it needs to go. It does not have to be that way. It does not have to get worse before it gets better. It doesn't. And life is so much better when you realize that. But I truly believed that. Like, that was a true belief that I held for a long time. And it was not made better by that coach I was working with, but that was a belief I'm really glad I got rid of. Any coach that tells you that you need to suffer at all to get what you want is like, no. Now, is it always easy to change your focus and change your thoughts? No, because sometimes there like shit is going down and it is hard to focus. But the more you do this and the more you have results and the more you build your belief in the law and you tell yourself you believe in the law and you understand what you're actually doing, it becomes just what you do. And then you'll catch yourself thinking something like, oh, maybe it has to get worse before it gets better. And you're like, ah, no, no. I always get what I want. I always get what I want easily and effortlessly. I hate to be the one to say it, but I manifest things so easily. Accept my SP, like I get everything I want except that. Well, you gotta stop saying that. SP was the easiest thing I ever manifested. Happened so easily and effortlessly. Finally, at the point where I can realize I don't have to suffer facing the same triggers over and over again, that I can choose my higher frequency and know this is the truth. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That was something that when I really started to understand manifestation, I did not understand at all. Because everyone I had been listening to prior to like getting it was very like, oh, well, one of my favorites, new level, new devil. Like there's always going to be something to fucking work through cuz you're just such a fucking disaster and nothing can ever be that good and it's like, what the no. No. I'm going to work through this and let it go. I have let go of so much crap that I don't even remember what it was that I worked through. Like that's how much I've let it go. And it doesn't come up anymore. And if it does come up, it comes up in a way that is so I'm so detached from it. If that makes sense, like it's not triggering. It's just like, yeah, that's old shit. Who gives a fuck? I still have some moments because I have body dysmorphia and other issues. Stop telling yourself that. Your body's perfect. I love my body. Everything's perfect about my body. And other issues, I've been doing my best not to dwell or spiral. I never dwell, I never spiral. I never spiral. And if you do, you just remind yourself you're a human and pick yourself up, dust yourself off. You're too afraid of spiraling and that it's going to mess up your shit. And it's, I promise you not. I promise you not. I went live randomly with a friend of mine on TikTok, and I will tell you, we were talking about this. She was texting me freaking out because her school was going to charge her like 4 grand, 3 or 4 grand unexpectedly. And she was like, what the fuck? And she was freaking out. Like, I couldn't calm her down. I had to slam the door in her face like Abdullah did to Neville. I was like, I was like, I don't know what to tell you, Sheila. Cause she's like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, well, I guess you could drop out. She's like, yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to do that. And I'm like, you need to calm the fuck down. But she was losing it. And she told me that after that, just she turned off everything. She turned off the phone. She blocked everybody out. And she's like, I had a horrible night. I didn't try to affirm anything, just like went to bed. And then a few days later, found out that that was a mistake and that was not what she would owe. And she just needed to, she owed him like, it was like $200 or $400. And then a couple days later, they're like, yeah, you don't even owe us that much. So trust me, that shit, like, it doesn't matter. I feel like it's hard since I see myself every day. I still say I'm pretty. That's what you need to focus on. Every time you see yourself in the mirror, you are no longer allowed to criticize yourself, be mean to yourself, bully yourself, or tell yourself anything other than you are the most beautiful person on this planet and everyone tells you how beautiful you are. That's it. It's a choice. You're the one who's choosing to be mean to yourself and tell yourself all of this crap. And the longer you continue to do it, the longer you are continue to experience it because that's what you tell yourself. And I get it because I used to tell myself how much I hated my body and how ugly I was too. But every time I looked in the mirror, I'm like, that's not allowed anymore. And it will change. I fucking promise you. I had somebody comment this on TikTok. They're like, I started affirming because I hated my nose and wanted my nose to change. And they're like, through affirming, I ended up loving the nose I already have. I wasn't expecting that, but that's what ended up happening. Every person on this planet is beautiful and amazing and perfect and healed and whole and complete. The reason we don't feel that way is because we have conditioning and old shit that tells us otherwise. And the only way to get rid of that shit is to repeatedly tell yourself something different. Because if you pay attention to your thoughts, you're repeatedly telling yourself the shit that's making you miserable and telling yourself the shit that you feel you need to change. I want my appearance to change like right now. It's done. It's already done. It has changed. Every time I feel icky, as I say, I visualize my appearance. I know I'm already beautiful, but I want to enhance my beauty. Then you just keep telling yourself and you get rid of the rest of that shit. Yes, it's uncomfortable when you first start telling yourself because you don't believe it, but you have to just keep telling yourself. Me too with my nose, but I did see some minor changes with my nose, but to the other person, it looks the same. Just keep going. Just keep going. Stop checking the 3D. Stop checking the 3D. It is already done. Your nose is perfect. If it's too hard to do it when you're looking in the mirror, but you can't be criticizing yourself when you look in the mirror, but affirm it when you're not looking in the mirror. But the biggest thing is if every time you look in the mirror, you're like, "Oh my god." Whatever you are used to dominantly thinking is the thing that your brain is going to most easily go back to and keep showing you is right. So the repetition is where you have to keep repeating it to get things to change. No, sorry. Oops. I meant to say I love my new nose, even though it had minor. Oh, even though it had minor changes. Okay, got you. So you got your new nose. Nice. That's awesome. That is awesome. Also, old SP even offered to buy me gifts. He literally told me I don't deserve I don't deserve anything, a whole 180. I still want other SPs since he was an IRL thing. Old SP is a long distance one. I'm still shook. I'm telling you, it's birds. Just keep going. That's awesome though. Yes, not checking the 3D when it comes to physical change is something I've been working on holding back from and just focusing on the image of myself in my third eye. Yeah. The more you can focus on things being the way you want them to be without reacting to the 3D, the faster it'll change. Why is it so hard to not look at the 3D? Because your entire life you have been taught and trained and have dictated every thought you've ever had based off of what you were experiencing. And now you're doing the exact opposite. So you're breaking a habit that is lifelong. Manifestations come in, then I lose them. Observation only, not telling myself this, so self-concept should be focus. Rad to catch you live. Well, I'm glad you're here. Oh, manifestation comes in, then I lose them. Observation only, not telling myself this. The fact that you're noticing it, I would say that you are probably telling yourself on some level. And even if you're not, I would throw into what you're telling yourself. I always keep my manifestations just to be sure that that's not something that you're doing. But when it comes to them leaving, it could be self-concept, but you need to look at, do these things show up, and then does your mindset revert back to the old mindset? Do you keep affirming? Do you keep persisting even though things show up? Because if you go back to thinking old thoughts, things are going to go back to the old way that they were. Um, but yeah, your self concept should always be your focus. I'm wanted. I'm enough. I always get what I want. I'm deserving of what I want. Things like that. Hopefully that is helpful. But a bit silly, but could I manifest my bunny being more affectionate? I just want to give her kisses, and she took off my glasses and hopped away. Laugh out loud. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you can. Yeah. Yes, I manifested my kitty being more affectionate, and whoa, you can do it. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Before I understood manifesting, I groomed dogs for 11 and a half years, and I will tell you, your mindset around the dogs and what you're thinking of the dogs and all of that, it they will mirror it back to you for sure. Everything and everyone is you pushed out. There is no exception. Everything is what you think it is. Did you decide it's okay that I'm on the live, sir? Falling asleep over here. But yeah, anything you think, literally anything, any thought that comes into your head, you can accept it or reject it. You can tell yourself anything you want to in its place. Whether it's about yourself or about the past. So if I have a knowing SP loves me, why doesn't SP pursue me? Because you're focused on them not pursuing you. If you know your SP loves you, like if you know they love you, do you know that you're together? Do you have a knowing that you're together or going to be together? Because just because they love you doesn't mean that they would be with you if you don't think they would choose to be with you. So I would look at your self concept. Do you feel wanted, chosen enough? Do you feel like this person would choose you? I would also work on creating the knowing that you and SP are together or going to be together, not that just that they love you. What do you think about shifting realities? Like how there are people who shift to anime worlds. Is that a bit too far of a stretch? I don't know anybody who's ever done any of that shit, so I don't know. I don't know because when people are speaking about shifting realities. You are in one reality where you are with SP and in one reality where you're not with SP. Like, that's what people mean who actually know what they're talking about, shifting realities. Once you wake up to this truth, you won't be able to unsee it. Oh, yeah, that right there. 100%. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, yes, totally makes sense. No, I didn't persist in keeping affirming, visualizing once they showed up. I think it's done and on to the next thing, but then wavered. Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, it's your mental diet and the way you think about things is forever. Now, once it becomes normal and it is your expectation for you to have that thing, you're going to naturally stop affirming for it because it's like, you know, when you go buy something, you have it. You don't sit there and are like thinking about it all the time. It's just your life now, right? But if you, hi Gemma, if you are going back to wavering, you're always getting mirrored back to you what you're focusing on. Literally, when it comes to manifesting, it's either I have it or I don't. How's it going? I'm amazing. How are you doing? Jax is forgiving me. This is the third night in a row I'm going live. I was going live on TikTok the past couple nights, and he was like so mad when I was setting up the camera. He's like, another night, Mom? Jeez. And now he's happy. Yeah, when you're happy, I'm happy, huh, Bubba? Silly boy. That's great. I'm doing very well. Yay. Yay. Anything is possible. I changed my eye color from dark brown to brown in all kinds of lighting. See? There you go. That is awesome. How are Jax and Precious? They're good. Jax was mad at me earlier, but he's happy now. They are doing good. Thank you for asking. That's great. I have been manifesting outcomes since I was a kid. I just didn't know the word for it until recently. See, there you go. I can look back at my whole life and see the connection between everything that I've experienced and what I was thinking about at the time, but I am pretty sure as a child I was way more aware of this stuff than like, and then it other people got in my head and shit, but like I absolutely believe that. Manifested more money this week. Yay! Congratulations. That's awesome. You're too good at this. Too fucking good at this. You always get what you want. When you want it. Yep, I can totally see this too when I look back at some of the things that showed up in my reality from a young age. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree. And the more I can look back and see things, it's like, yeah, I've been doing this my whole life, which helped me understand more of what manifesting actually is. Stop pumping me up. I will be out of control manifesting machine. That's not the worst thing. Spelling errors. You're fine. That's a great affirmation, though. I'm an out of control manifesting machine. I feel like a lot of this understanding is about coming back into more of a childlike way of thinking in terms of believing in the impossible. Absolutely. 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 Like, as kids, you are so much more in tune with your imagination, and then you are taught that like your imagination isn't real, and don't don't get too caught up in it because you're going to be disappointed. Like that's not real, and then you start getting into the logic of like, well, this is possible and that's impossible and that's probable and that's improbable. And when you were a kid, not you didn't have any of those limitations. The other thing I noticed, this was something I noticed a while ago, but I'm like, and it never really, it just was something I noticed. I'm like, when you're very young, people are like, oh my God, you could do anything. You could just be anything you want. You can be anything you want. But then as you get older in school, it's all of a sudden, well, you couldn't do that and that would be impossible. And how would that happen? And that kind of shit. At least that was my experience. And then it's like, oh, and you wonder why, you lose touch with your imagination and believing shit's possible. As a kid, I felt like I used to manifest tons as well. Everyone called me spoiled. I had a mentality of I always get what I want, and I did. I got so many expensive toys. I need that mindset back. Listen, I had that same thing, and I let let those people get in my head of being like, "Oh, you're just like a spoiled little brat." I love that mentality, and I'm totally welcoming it back. If our imagination isn't real, then why is it there? And why do we have it? That's a very good point. Exactly. If it's so unimportant, why, yeah, that's such a good point. But it's actually the other way around. It is. It's absolutely the other way around. And the more you see it and the more comfortable you are with it and, come back to that childhood way of looking at the world. Exactly. Laugh out loud. It's so true that when we are That's so true. That's when we can be president and astronauts. And then when you into middle school, high school, you're told to be realistic. Yeah, exactly. And it's like, what a great way to squash your self confidence and your belief in things being possible. At least we know better now. Exactly. That. Exactly. Adults just destroy that mindset from children, unfortunately. I agree. They do. They do. It's like I can see things from my childhood where, and I think I was aware that I was manifesting. Like I didn't know a word for it, but I knew there was a connection between something in my head and what was happening around me. But then other people, like I would tell other people, or I don't really like I remember, but I don't, and I don't care to go digging and try to figure it out. But like I feel like outside people influenced how I perceived that shit. I feel like adults forget that kids will one day become adults themselves. Yeah. They call us the future, yet they always put us down when we think too big. Now look at us. Yeah. Oh yeah. And the people who are the most successful, the people who have made the biggest impact in the world are the people who use their imaginations and think really big. I was thinking about it this morning and I realized that this dream crushing mentality is why I'm happy just being a dog mom. Oh, I love that. I love being a dog mom. Yep, I agree. There's a correlation with people who are successful and them using their imagination. And some of them are really aware of it, and but I don't think all of them are. Like, I think some people just do it very naturally. So affirming me and SP are together is enough. You need to take a look at your beliefs about yourself, about relationships, and about your SP in particular. If you are affirming for SP, but you constantly think about how no relationships ever work or that you would never be chosen by someone to be in a relationship, that shit has to go. You can do that with your SP affirmations if you start thinking, oh, they wouldn't choose me, they wouldn't want to be with me. No, we're happy together, so that must not be true. But if you need to have other affirmations to change your beliefs about yourself, relationships, or this person, and that person wanting to be with you, then you need to do what's going to work best for you. Yes, it is the best. Dog time. I know it's a yes, but I kind of want another confirmation. I have vocal damage because of old singing school and my voice never healed. It's been 2 years. Can I still heal it? Yeah. That never happened. That never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. That never happened. I don't know what you're talking about. My voice is perfect. Or my it's a miracle my voice healed. However is more natural for you to think about it. It's when it comes to revision is a tool at the end of the day, and basically it's just telling yourself that you're thinking about the past differently. Whether you just want to be like it healed and it's done and move on, or go back and think of it differently from the past, it's doing the same thing as long as you're telling yourself you healed your voice. Everything and everyone is you pushed out. Circumstances don't matter. Revision works. I noticed it helped me to be more focused. Nice. I do revision in the moment, but when it comes to like truly using revision the way some people teach it, I forget that I'm revising things. So sometimes I'll revise things and sometimes I'll just affirm that it's no longer that way and it works. I learned that our subconscious is the thing that brought ourselves together in the womb. Really? I have never heard that, but that's very interesting. Imagine we could remember ourselves as fetuses. There are people who say they remember. I believe if you've ever read Autobiography of a Yogi, like I believe he talks about like remembering being in the womb. I need to get revision down. My brain can't comprehend how it works. If revision is too hard for you to do, then don't try and do it. You don't have to revise anything. You just tell yourself that things are the way you want them to be. And any thoughts from the past that are telling you that, well, it couldn't be like that because of this, you just disregard them. I'm a semi-logical thinker. I know logic shouldn't be in manifestation, but my brain wants to brain. It's just about changing the way that you're viewing things. That's it. That's interesting. Never knew there were people who remember back that far. We might all remember back that far, but I don't know that I want to. Like, I think I'm good. Me too, I'm good. Yeah, I think I'm good. I feel like then there'd just be more stuff to like revise and think of differently as it comes up and as memories that I have. Be like, oh man. Like I feel like I remember enough that's just like I don't want to be relevant anymore. I don't need more. Thank you. I feel like robotic affirmations is just telling yourself what you what you want, can revise the past without you having to specifically rewrite your history, like it just changes with this. Exactly. If you start using affirmations like it's always been this way, I've always had the perfect body or my body, whatever, or something like put always into your affirmation, you're changing the past. Like I know I can revise and wake up to a text from my friend. You need to get over the waking up to it happening. It can happen at any moment. Manifestation is 24/7. There's no business hours. It's not, oh, well, it didn't happen overnight, so it's not going to happen. Like, that's not how this works. Or my SP, but my brain is like, what do you mean? That's why you have to affirm. You just keep affirming. You keep telling yourself, we're in contact, we're in contact, we're in contact, we're in contact, and you let the rest go. You just have to keep doing it. Laugh out loud, I'm telling myself that didn't happen or it happened this way. That's all you gotta do. By the way, I don't know how to tag ping people on my mobile. I see your messages. I don't know how to do it. I don't either, so I'm gonna say you're good. You just have to keep doing it. Just keep doing it. It will become familiar. You may or may not get to the point where you're like, I I know that it's done and I don't really have to think about it as much anymore. Or it'll just fucking happen randomly. But manifestations don't have business hours. As long as you are focused when you think of the topic of thinking of them the way you want them to be and you are familiarizing yourself with that is how things will happen to prove you're right. And I wouldn't get caught up in trying to figure out how to do it. It's literally just telling yourself whenever you're thinking about how the past things, circumstances are affecting that you are no longer friends with this person or they don't wouldn't want to talk to you or whatever the fuck is coming up. Nope, that all resolved itself because we're friends again and I'm with my SP and we're happy. Sonia, I got asked on a date from a person I used to work with and didn't think to mention it because I always talk about the stuff I manifested. Look at you. That's some birds. Totally forgot they had my number. That's funny. That's funny. How do you go from waiting to expecting it to happen? You just keep affirming. You may not expect it, you may not believe it, you may still feel like it's probably not even going to happen and it could still happen. It's just where's your focus the majority of the time? When it comes up, do you spiral and stew and get taken down the river of this is never going to happen? It couldn't possibly happen. Manifesting isn't real. Or when things come up, do you remind yourself, no, this always works for me and I'm getting what I want. This is how things are. That's all you have control over is focusing on that, and the rest will take care of itself. If you're trying to figure out like how do I get to this the waiting and the expectant, like you have to remind yourself it's already done. This is what is going to happen. The end. I had to reject him. Ain't no way I'm going on a date with him. That's okay. That's funny though. I think it's because lately I've been affirming I'm perfect and everyone misses me. I also take it as birds for your SP that you're manifesting right now. When I visualize scenarios with certain people, I get happy, but then kind of spiral when I realize it's not manifested. I've been trying to stay more disciplined and do something else. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And when you start to spiral, you need to keep yourself busy doing other shit. It's not about keeping yourself in it perfectly 24/7, but the more that you do it and then think against it, you're creating it not happening because your brain is dominantly used to you thinking that it's not happening. And by doing that, you're telling yourself it's not working. You have to keep bringing yourself back. And it's not like it's completely messing it up, but the more it's just bringing yourself back. This is what is going to happen. This is what is happening. My imagination is the true reality. It doesn't matter what's happening in front of my face. It's going to happen and change any minute now. Any minute now, it's going to change. They're going to text me any minute now. Oh, Moons, everyone does miss you, and you are perfect. That's too funny. The biggest thing is not getting caught up in, am I doing this right? Is this working? All of that shit, because all of that shit is manifesting. I know exactly what I'm doing. I am doing it enough. I'm doing it perfectly. It's going to work. It's holiday season, so everyone is missing me and going to bring me presents. That's a good one. Everyone misses me and wants to give me presents in real life. I love that. I love that. I have no doubt that you're going to be like, oh my God, this person showed up and gave me presents, and that person gave me presents. And they're going to give you good presents too. Like that new computer you want. You're going to be like, it's going to be like that song, and I got 5 computers. I think everyone should affirm everyone misses me. Everyone misses them. I affirm I'm everyone's favorite. Yeah, everyone is loving to me and in love, etc. as well. Just have to get SP to pursue me. Stop saying SP isn't pursuing you. I have to get him to do it. You're happy together, which means your SP wants to be with you and only you. The end. You will be surprised what happens. Oh, yeah. I don't know if this is because my old self concept, but I recently had to drop a friend. He was super problematic and was basically a reflection of me with my old self concept. I know I could change him, but nah, sir, bye, laugh out loud. Yeah, sometimes, like, just because you can change people and manifest different versions of people doesn't mean you have to. If you're like, yeah, you can go, then there you go. Laugh out loud, Sonia. No wonder you became one of my favorites. I can see it now. It's the 12 days of Christmas, and Moon's got all kinds of crap. But nice crap. And then we'll have to turn it into a song. It'll be a smash hit. Also, in your opinion, why do you think a lot of people have trouble manifesting an SP or even money? I've heard different opinions, and I find it interesting if people have problems with those too, because those are two things that people have a lot of trauma and old limiting beliefs around. A lot of bullshit around. And it's like money, like you need money to survive. So, in my experience, it's hard to let go of those money beliefs and trust that everything is going to be okay. Because with manifestation, you have to go all fucking in. You can't be half in, half out. With love and SP, again, that comes to a lot of trauma that comes from, parents, and like there's a lot of things. Even just growing up and seeing relationships on TV. If you watch TV shows, most of the relationships that are portrayed are extremely fucking toxic. So people don't even realize the shitty beliefs they have about themselves or about relationships or about their specific person. If you have a fucking belief that all men are cheaters, that includes your SP if you are going after a guy or, women or men, whoever you're into, are all cheaters. It's your entire belief system that's manifesting. Yep, you can't serve two masters. Exactly that. Exactly that. And with SP, there's a lot of layers to manifesting an SP. Like I said, if your core belief is I am not enough, I am not wanted, I am not chosen, that is because that came from childhood shit, your SP is going to reflect that back to you. And until you change you, they're going to continue to reflect that back to you. And even if you manifest them, they're going to fucking leave again because you still are functioning from that place. If manifestation was truly just saying some affirmations, a lot more people would be able to do it. But even with robotic affirmations, it takes dedication, and you are literally using them to change yourself. What you tell yourself will be proven to be true. I agree with Sonia. If you can consistently think men cheat, that's what you will experience in the physical world. I always say this, but that is all reality is. Yep, I agree. And a lot of people don't even realize that they're telling themselves that kind of shit. And they were, they manifestation is very literal. Your subconscious takes you literally. So if you say all men, that means including your SP. And then if you have a belief that, you're not good enough and men would hurt me, then guess what? You're fucking right. And you're going to get cheated on because that's your belief system without even realizing it. My old self concept was the reason my main SP left. I will admit I was super toxic and hated myself so much when we went into no contact the first time. I took action, but now I want to use manifestation to my advantage. Yeah, change that old shit. Change that old shit. Put the focus on you. Put the focus on making yourself better. Put the focus on being happy now, doing things that'll make you happy now. The more you are dependent on having to have other people in your life to make you happy is a problem, because them being in your life, the feelings that they are going to bring you come from within you. You can cultivate the feelings and the thoughts and the experience without them. And the more you can do that, the more you're going to have a healthy relationship anyway. People think manifesting is a quick fix. That right there. That right there. It's not. It's literally changing you. Literally changing you. And like Moon said, you can't serve two masters. The rest of that quote from Neville goes something to the effect of, you can't serve two masters, so in order to get your physical world to change, you have to die to one and live in the other. Meaning that you cannot be thinking, oh, they love me and they want me, oh, they would never want me, I'm not worthy of them. You have to fully be in, they love me and choose me and make me happy and my life is perfect, and let go of the rest to the best of your ability. It's not perfect, but the more you focus on that, that is what gets shit to change. And that's why so many people fail with manifesting, because they don't realize that like you actually have to change. You can't see your SP as the person who would hurt you and expect to be in a happy relationship with them. But I see that a lot. I hate them. They're like this. They hurt me so much, but I can't live without them. I don't know what I'm going to do. You're serving two masters. Which is it? Are they an asshole that would hurt you, or are they the love of your life and treat you like a fucking queen? Which one is it? I feel so much better now. Yes, I do still get insecure sometimes, but I'm still working on it and I'm happy. I know I got this. You definitely got this. It's just about the commitment. Like, you just keep doing it. You just keep doing it. It gets easier and things will change. Even if you get your manifestation and your thoughts are not in line, it will switch back to match your consistent thoughts. Exactly. Exactly. If you do not deal with the underlying beliefs, you are going to have that hot and cold behavior. It's going to come and then it's going to leave, and then it's going to come and then it's going to leave. And you're going to be in an endless cycle. I had a bit of empathy for the other day. I'm whole. Other things like I had a bit of an epiphany the other day. I'm whole. Other things like SP, friends, money, looks are just accessories. I had on the whole outfit. It's complete. The accessories just complement me. That right there. This is a journey about you and how you view yourself and the world around you. The better you think about yourself and the world around you, the better experiences you are going to have. But it's still all you. What you are experiencing is you. It's all coming from you. When somebody or something does something that triggers you, it doesn't have anything to do with them. It has to do with you. And that your belief systems, that they were triggered by something that you said. It has nothing to do with you. Or it has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. I'm getting it backwards. Sonia, I noticed I used to waver a lot and suffered a lot with background thoughts. People don't even notice they waver. Yes. Yeah. There are so many different ways that you waver and you don't even realize you're doing it. Like that example earlier, if you're always like, oh, all women do this or all men are like this, that's a form of wavering, even though it's fucking sneaky. I used to think I was very on top of my mental diet. I used to think I was affirming all the time and I'm doing it all right. And oh man, I had no idea. I had no idea. There was so much stuff that I was still allowing to play in my head that was the exact opposite of what I wanted. But part of it was I just felt like, well, that could never change, or that's just how things are. Not realizing that it was all me putting those limitations on myself. I have trust issues and abandonment issues. Not anymore, you don't. Not anymore, you don't. That's gotta go. That's where the self-concept stuff comes in. but I'm working on learning to not assume the worst and think of an outcome in my favor. Exactly. I've never had trust issues. I've never had abandonment issues. My past no longer defines me. I know who I can trust. I know I'm wanted and chosen. I used to affirm, then unconsciously think about my current circumstances. That right there. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I would affirm and think of my circumstances at the same time and be like, but I'm affirming. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. But I will tell you, just the repetition of it did make my brain familiar, and it eventually, like, I feel like it was just part of my process. And I feel like a lot of people go through that, but it's just like, yeah, I really wasn't. I mean, what issues? I don't have any issues. I'm perfect. That right there. See? You got it. That was a form of wavering that I didn't notice I used to do. Yeah. Man, I spent a lot of time thinking about circumstances and worrying. Worrying was my big one. Catastrophizing was another big one. But I was affirming. It's like, no, you weren't. Thank God I'm aware now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm free from it now. Yeah, exactly. And the more you do it and the more you see things manifest, the more you just do it. And you realize, like, you catch yourself more easily and you're not as hard on yourself. 111. Yeah, I just saw it. I just saw the clock and went, oh, there's my 7-Eleven. That's funny. Yep, I have an assumption that I see 7-Eleven at least once a day on my clock, and I usually see it in the morning and at night. I just started seeing it randomly, and it's like, that's Jax's birthday, so I just see it all the time. There is no separation, it's an illusion. Yup. I see angel numbers all the time. Me too. Me too. I actually saw a video on, I think it was on TikTok, where they were like doing the math, like the odds of you seeing. There were two. It was like the odds of you seeing specifically 11-11 and the odds of you seeing just like repeating numbers at all. And I think that like the odds of seeing 11-11 are like 1 in 700 and something or something like that. And I'm like, I see 11-11 on the clock all the time. I see angel numbers all the time. Yeah, me too. I see the whole bunch. Yeah, me too. Me too. I used to put a lot of meaning to it too. What does that mean? That has to be important. That has to mean something. Now I just either affirm or go, yeah, of course I saw that again. I also formed the belief, I'm like, every time I look at the clock, it's repeating numbers, and it pretty much always is. It's kind of like my playing in the spring of being like, every time I go outside, I see a butterfly. That's pretty much any time I think about I'm going to see a butterfly outside, I'll turn around and there one will be. By the way, any advice on not to feel jealous or insecure? You need to work on your self-concept. When you see people with the appearance you want or are manifesting, that's when you need to affirm, oh my God, I look just like that. They look just like me. Oh my God, I look just like them. We're twins. We look so similar. Holy crap. I get triggered because I don't see it in the 3D and full on mentally break down. That's when you need to affirm and persist. And affirm and persist and affirm and persist, because as long as you continue to allow yourself to have a fucking meltdown because things haven't changed, things are not going to change. I always see pink cars. That's fun. In fact, just saw one in real life today. Nice. Nice. I know you want shit to change. I fucking get it. And I promise you, from experience, the longer that you continue to allow yourself to get upset because it hasn't changed yet, the longer you're going to wait for it to change. And the more miserable you're going to get because the longer you're going to be doing this. The sooner you can drop it and tell yourself stories and think thoughts that just tell yourself it is fucking done and I love all my life, the faster shit will change. Because you are creating your misery by allowing yourself to think things that make you miserable. If looking in the mirror makes you miserable, then don't look at yourself as much. If seeing other people makes you jealous, like you need to work on your self-concept and you need to tell yourself, you need to change the story you're telling in the moment. And I know it's uncomfortable and it's weird and you're like, yeah, but that's not true, but it is true because whatever you tell yourself is true is true. You have to break that habit of looking at the 3D and taking it as fact because it's not. It's an old manifestation. And you're allowing old shit to keep you stuck in old shit. Look at the mirror and affirm. Instead, I remind myself reacting will not get you anything but more of what you don't want. That. Now, does that mean you sitting on the floor for long periods of time? I swear. Does that mean that you can't react and that it will fuck everything up? No, but if every time something little happens and it fucking triggers you and you're like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get what I want, you are dominantly focused on not having what you want and you're wavering. Manifesting a purple car a few days ago. I wasn't expecting for it to be on Instagram though. Haha. I still got it though. See? You're manifesting all kinds of shit successfully. Manifesting the shit you want is no different. It just feels bigger because you have all of this other shit tied to it. And when your happiness is like, well, I can't be happy until it changes, and then I'm going to get miserable every time I notice that it hasn't changed or I'm reminded that it hasn't changed yet, you're not in the state of the wish fulfilled. If you are in the state of the wish fulfilled, you don't fucking care if you see other things or like none of it matters because it's done. Yeah, exactly. Now apply that to everything. Exactly. That was where I started to learn the most about manifestation, was having those, like, taking those manifestations that didn't matter, that happened and happened really fast, and being like, okay, how did I affirm for this? What was I thinking about this? And then applying it to other things. Because manifestation is all the same. It's all the same. It's just your thoughts, your perspective, your point of view. That's all it is. One rule in manifesting principle is to think as if you have what you want. Exactly that. If you had what you want, you are not bitching, whining, moaning, and complaining about how you don't have what you want. I will. I always forget my power. I know I can do it. You can do it. You're already doing it. You're doing it perfectly. And the stuff that you are miserable with right now and you don't like, you're manifesting that perfectly because it's what you're dominantly telling yourself. And the more that you get used to telling yourself and just keep going, just keep going. To the best of your ability, just keep going. When you catch yourself, remind yourself, fuck no, I am God of my reality. I control my thoughts, and that is no longer allowed because it's no longer true. Because I don't want it anymore. So it can go. Yep, you can. I absolutely agree. If you can manifest the seemingly little shit, you can manifest the other shit. I promise you. Can't wait to hear a big success story from you. No pressure though. Oh, I know they're coming. They're totally coming. Absolutely 100%. It's just about can just keep going. Just keep going. If you fall off, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get back to it. That's it. Even though nothing is too big or small. And the more you do it, and the more you catch yourself, and the more things start to change, and the more your mindset starts to change, and the more things happen, you'll start to see it. Everything is the same to manifest. Yeah, that was one of the hardest things for me to comprehend. Like, legitimately. I and that came from my law of attraction crap, but it was like I could not comprehend that everything was the same to manifest. It's like this has to be different because it seems so hard but it's not. Me too. Yeah. I'm like, no, this has to be different. It's different. Why can't I understand why it's different? It's like cuz it's different to me in the way I think about it. It seems bigger and harder. It made my head spin. Yeah, it was so hard to comprehend. So fucking hard. But once I started to get it, it's like, oh, now I get it. That's where I'm like, this is a lifestyle. I spend my entire day not focused on my thoughts and micromanaging my thoughts, but aware of my thoughts, aware of how I'm feeling. Because when my body starts feeling bad, that's when I know that I need to check my brain, what's happening up here. When you say dominant thoughts, what exactly do you mean? It's the thoughts that you think most of the time. How are you viewing things the majority of the time? When things come up, if your first thought is, oh, well, I didn't get what I want, you stop yourself and tell yourself that you did. And focusing mostly on it being the way that you want it to be, your brain is always going to think. But you have the choice to spiral and stew in those old shitty thoughts or to shift it to something else. What do you dominantly come back to thinking the majority of the time? It's not so much the time as how much do you come back to it? How much do you tell yourself that that's no longer true? I think thoughts in my favor. I do flip flop and waver sometimes, but I always do my best to go back to favorable. Then you're doing it right. Just keep doing it. Tell yourself it's working. Tell yourself you're doing it perfectly. You're the only one who can decide you're doing it wrong. There's nothing outside of you being like, oh, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it good enough. The only one who can decide that is you. Oh, trust me, you'll hear a big success story from me very soon. I know it. See? There you go. There's the attitude. This works, and it works every time. Every time. I know exactly what I'm doing. We are so used to there being some standard or guideline or you have to do this much in order to get an A kind of thing, and that's not how manifesting works. It's everything is you. It works however you think it works, and the only one who can tell you you're not doing it right is you. This year went so fast. Yeah, it really did. I really can't believe it. Yeah, I agree. It's almost 2024. Yeah. I don't know where this year went. So much has happened. It's been quite a year. Absolutely ridiculous. Hell yeah. 2024 is going to be the best year ever. So excited. Every day I'm convinced time is really an illusion. Oh, yeah. I agree. I absolutely agree. The more I stop focusing on time and all that shit and just am like, I'm present in this moment, the happier I am. And the faster, like, that's, I feel where part of like the year just flies by because it's like I'm just present. So I'm not really paying attention to like when in the year it is. Every day, 2024, I will be going on a few holidays. Nice. Of course you will. It's already done. Yep. Yep. Oh, all right, you I think I'm gonna hop off here pretty soon. So if you guys have any last questions for tonight, at the moment, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be going live through December, the same schedule on YouTube. I will uh, schedule them once I decide for sure. See, that's also part of my time isn't real. I don't plan anything until I decide I want to, so we'll see what happens. Yes, December will be an amazing month. I'm planning on December being the best year, or the best year, the best month of 2023 by far. And then 2024 is going to be the best year ever. Now that we're talking about time, anyone else space out and feel like time isn't real? It's hard to explain because time isn't real. Time is a man-made construct that's put into place by human beings. It will be, absolutely. Absolutely. Like everything feels fake when you're in that space. It's because everything is you pushed out. Everything is what you think it is. Time is not real. Like, it's literally not real. It's literally just there to help people communicate things. Yeah, imagine if we didn't have any time management. That the world would be chaos. Especially now that the world's so connected. If you didn't have a way to communicate, like me doing these lives, I'm going to be live at this time. Like, there's no way for people to know, hey, come hang out and ask me your questions if time didn't exist. But it doesn't exist. Like, it's not real, but it exists because humans function from it. But from a truth perspective of like how things work and how the natural laws, like time is a man-made construct that isn't real. But making plans would be massively fucking hard if it's like we don't have any way to differentiate between anything. So when I'm present, that means I'm doing good. As long as you are focused on things being the way you want them to be in the present moment, then yeah. But if you're in the present moment and you're like, oh my God, everything sucks, I never get what I want. Laugh out loud. Imagine if the whole world went by the same time. No more running late or calling people while they're asleep across the world. Sonia, I was thinking how food is what you make it. Yeah? Lately, I've been affirming that anything I eat is healthy. Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about Abdullah's. I'm God, nothing can hurt me, and I can eat, drink, smoke, do whatever I want. I want to be like Abdullah. And I've been feeling so much better. You can. Absolutely, I know I can. Like everything is in the mind, yep. Oh yeah. Abdullah seems cool. I need him to slam the door in my face too. Laugh out loud. You're in Barbados. You have everything you want. The end. That's all you need to know. That's it. All right, guys, last call for questions because I am going to get off of here. But I will be back probably Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Central Standard, probably next Tuesday, 6 Central Standard Time. Because imagine we were told that we can eat anything and be healthy from a young age, we would experience that being true. I completely agree. Completely agree. Especially when you see people and you see how people think about food. It's like, oh my God, if I eat that, I'm going to gain so much weight. And then there's the people who are like, I can eat that and just eat. Like, you already see it. You already see it with other people. Bye, Sonia. Have a lovely evening. Bye, Moons. Anybody have any last question real quick? Because if not, I'm going to jump off of here. But like I said, I will be live again at some point. Bye, everyone. Have a good rest of your night or day. Exactly that, Zelda. Just remember, you guys, it's all about just coming back to making the decision, right? This is what I want. This is what I'm going to get. You've already made it. It's just bringing yourself back to it. This is how shit is. I know that this hasn't been true in the past or that thing or this circumstance, but none of it fucking matters. No. Hey, Sonia, one last question. I met some people in shows where people are normalizing infidelity and saying it is an eventuality, and it triggers me a lot. How do I get out of this situation? I absolutely believe I believe therefore are all kinds of people, and it is not my experience. I met some people in shows where people are normalizing infidelity, and it's saying it is an eventuality, and it is triggering me a lot. You need to, if I'm getting this right, you've been having a lot of people telling you that eventually people are going to cheat, right? Like, and now you're afraid that that's like an absolute truth of how shit works. You need to just decide that those people are stupid and stop listening to them. I would take it as you need to look at your self-concept of, are you enough? Do you feel wanted, chosen, worthy, deserving? Because that's where that shit comes from. If you don't feel like you're enough and you tell yourself that, then people are going to mirror that back to you. If you tell yourself all relationships end in cheating, that's going to be mirrored back to you. So you need to be the person who would not be cheated on, and the person you want to be with would never hurt you. And who gives a fuck? Our relationship is the exception. We would never hurt each other. We would never cheat on each other. The end. But if you are focusing on that is inevitably going to happen just because some dumbasses said so, then that's what you're going to create because that's what you decided you believe. Even if it were true in every other couple, it's not true in my relationship. The end. I'm the exception to the rule. Fuck that. I hope that answered that. But yeah, you hear a lot of shit on a lot of things of people talking about things, and you can accept or reject any of it. Yeah, I'm the exception. That's not true for me. I'm manifesting the love of my life, and I believe it is not going to be for me. Exactly. This person would never hurt me. I would never hurt them. We're completely faithful. They want me and only me. They only have eyes for me. I'm the only person that makes them happy. They're the only person who makes me happy. The end. In my opinion, if you have a perfect relationship, you're not worried about the other person hurting you or cheating on you or leaving you or any of that shit. Right? Okay, one more question. If I just use we are together, can I do that and focus on self-concept the rest of the time? Yeah, as long as when you think of this person, you're like, we're together and we're so happy. And when you are thinking about, it's all just about changing your mindset to the mindset you would have if you were in a happy relationship with this person. So when you want to think about how, oh, they may not want to be with me. No, we're so happy together. Oh, they may pick that other person over me. No, I'm the best thing that ever happened to them because I'm the most amazing person who ever walked the face of this planet. So of course they would pick me and only me. You have to have that mindset. It's not about like, oh, well, this affirmation is going to be what manifests them, or working on self concept is what manifests them. It's you changing you, becoming the version of you who has what you want. So thinking as if you are in the relationship right now, and all the other thoughts have to fucking go. You can't be in a happy relationship and constantly be thinking about how they don't want you. Because if you manifest that person, they're going to end up leaving you because that's what you are dominantly focusing on. And it may take time, but it will manifest. It happened to a friend of mine. It took like 20 years, but she had a fear, an underlying fear of he's going to leave me, and he ended up leaving her. She ended up getting him back, but she will tell you, yeah, I fucking manifested that because I didn't change that belief in myself. Any last questions? It's all just mindset, guys. The thoughts that come up that are telling you that you can't have what you want, or that would never happen, or you're not good enough, or blah, 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 they have to fucking go. And however you want to shift them to things being different will work, as long as you tell yourself that it's working. But it's not the act of affirming that is what manifests. Thanks, Sonia. Seems I'm on the right path. I'm focusing and persisting, and it is done. Yep, it's done. It's done. And who cares about the statistics and all? No, not in my reality. That doesn't affect me. That doesn't affect me. Even if every other marriage was going to end in divorce, our relationship's going to last forever. I don't give a fuck. Or if you don't want to get married, whatever. Your relationship is forever. Yes, thank you. I have to stop looking at the 3D and see it as old. Yep. See it as old, or if you are affirming and you are on top of your mental diet and all the things, then whatever is happening in front of your face is the bridge of incidents, whether you like it or not. There's always fucking movement, and somehow, some way, this is getting me where I want to go, whichever way is more comfortable for you. I personally don't like looking at the 3D as old. It is an old manifestation, but I don't like looking at it that way because I get too caught up in the, oh, it's not here, things aren't changing. When I look at it as, okay, I know I'm on top of my shit, then this must be me getting where I want to go, it helps. Because other people want me, so I know SP will. SP already does. SP wants you and only you. The end. The end. There's no more figuring out how to get them to pursue you, or they won't pursue me, because they are with you and you're happy with them. So focus on thinking from that reality. If that is true, what kind of thoughts are you thinking? And those are your affirmations. And you just come back to that. Because your brain is always going to think. And even once you manifest your person, you may have a thought of like insecurity or something. That's from like, this is a lifestyle. You don't allow those thoughts to take over. It's not a problem that you thought it once. It's a problem that you just spent the past 4 days thinking about it. All right, you guys, I am going to get off of here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and thank you for watching. Like I said, I'll probably be back Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. on Tuesday Central Standard Time. Have a great week. I will see you soon. Love and light.